Good afternoon. We are joined by none other than Sean Ricketts, head coach for the men's and women's cross country team. Sean, the 2023-2024 5C TCA Women's Cross Country Coach of the Year. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Hey, good morning, Bo.
Hey, before we talk about this year's squads, let's talk about last year's fantastic season. Obviously capturing both individual state titles with Jiden and, of course, Alexis, who's returning for a second year. Tell me about that accomplishment, and also give us a little update on where Jiden is now.
Yeah, just speaking for both the programs, it was a great year. The
Mm-hmm.
number one goal is always to progress during the season, and both teams performed very well at championship time. The men's team pretty much performed the best that I felt that they could at that point in the season.
Yeah.
And up front with Jiden taking first and Victor taking third, having two in the top three was a big takeaway for our program. And then on the women's side, they did fall a little bit short of the state title because they won the SoCal championship meets, but
Yeah.
that was just due to health. And but in terms of that, Alexis winning a state title for the first time in women's school history, that was a big accomplishment for us. And
Absolutely. Good.
in this year, just to answer the last part of your
Uh-huh.
question, Jaden, his plan is to transfer to Chico State.
Mhm.
He's at Mesa this semester, just finishing up some classes.
Got it. Got it. Yeah, it's a heck of an accomplishment. One state title is good, but bringing them both home back to Mount Olympus is something to be said for. And as we've seen over the last couple of years, the program is the powerhouse of the state, and it's amazing to see what the program is going to do even this year. You talked briefly about Alexis, who is returning for a second season. How is she looking? And she's probably favored to repeat this season. And the second part of that question, and I know that your coaching staff always implements strategy on how to get them prepared and how to peak towards the championship months, I think you guys call it. What must she do to repeat the season?
In terms of where she is now, she's put in more work during the summer than she did last year. At the time, she actually joined us hurt for the first part of the summer,
Uh-huh.
her freshman year. So this year she's looking stronger, but in any sport you play, there's always new people that arise to the occasion. So
Mhm.
she has her work cut out for her, but her number one goal is the same with our program, is to improve and develop.
Yeah.
It'd be great if she repeated the state title. But in terms of that, we're always focused on that developmental piece, and then also her doing her job for the women's team.
Mhm.
The women's team has been second the last 2 years. This year, they definitely are capable of winning state, but that
Mhm.
takes a whole season to go through the process of that, and we'll see if they do that at the end when it matters the most.
Absolutely, and I'm glad you brought that up. And again, as we started the interview today, as being named the 2023-24 5C Coach of the Year, it's not just about the results that you have on the field, but it's the dedication to both the athletics and academics, as your program has proven, and the high transfer rate that you have done for the program. So that's amazing. Hey, let's stick with the women's team. 10 first year athletes, I believe, if I recall correctly, first year players coming in. Tell me, who should we keep an eye on early, and who do you see contributing immediately?
So there's two freshmen, Natalie Allen and Supe Arce. Both are ones to keep an eye on. They will make a immediate impact, especially on our top five. Natalie Allen actually was third on our team today and had a nice PR in her season opener. And in terms of the rest of the team, we do have 10 incoming for freshmen. Some we're planning to redshirt, develop towards track season, middle distance. But in terms of that, it is a nice solid group working as a group and kind of building that bond early in this season.
Got it. Got it. Now the men's team appears to be a little bit more balanced as far as the makeup of first year players and returning players. Of the returning players, who do you think is going to even have a better year this season?
Returning from the state meet last year, Alan Malo, Ronald Way, Ian Rosen, who he was the 800-meter state champ during track season.
Mhm.
Alex Lavoie are all key players on last year's second place state team. Also, returner Josh Edwards as well has put in a lot of work during the summer, and today was one of our top five. And in terms of, I think also answering the other part of it, a majority of that group
Mhm.
PR'd on the state meet course today, so
Mhm.
they already showed improvement from last year in the beginning of the season.
Got it. Got it. Hey, last question for you, Coach. And I know you guys are on the road right now. Excuse me. Competing over at Woodward Park at the Crush Invitational State Meet preview, and we have the results that just came in about an hour ago. Talking about last season, it fell just a little bit short, and if I recall correctly, I mean it was a matter of, I mean, by not even a second in some cases, right? It's that's how close that was. What do you think, in a sense, kind of you would do different this year from sort of what we learned last season?
So in terms of comparing to last year, the men's team, which was very close, I believe that they performed the best that they possibly could at the state meet. So I don't necessarily feel like last year's squad could have done anything different. I was very proud of how they executed and how they stepped up at the state meet.
Yep.
And then on the women's side, the only thing that got in the way was for half the squad was just health in those couple of weeks leading between regionals in upstate. So I think learning from last year, number one thing is it's always the focus is health and consistency. That there's a lot of uncontrollable factors
Mhm.
in our student athletes' lives, and we try to focus on what they can control. And so, trying to stay healthy at that point in the season, that is
Mhm.
a priority. The other key piece, I think both teams, both men and women's team, is we always talk about being connected as a team. On the men's side, I feel like the strength this year, we don't have a clear like number one or two runner. I feel like a lot of our top five are going to be shifting around. So truly being connected as a team means running as a pack or trying to stay as close as possible.
Mhm.
And on the women's side, same thing. It's just execute at that point in the season. Make sure you are healthy.
Got it. Well, Coach, I thank you for your time. Once again, again, we'll have an update on your guys' competition that's literally happening right now. And good luck this year. We look forward to absolutely following the progress throughout the year. And let's go grab those titles.
Thank you, Bo. You have a good
Thanks,
rest of your day.
Sean. All right.
Okay.